paperback in a couple of days. I recommend you get this book. Go on Amazon and read the comments that will make you buy this book. I will have to say, good evening. Nope. And a pleasant good evening to you, and welcome to Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Right here on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis and Chicago, which is bigsradio.com, as well as WRLN Radio for today's, let me get it right, today's R&B hits and throwbacks. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, officially checking in with nothing but throwbacks. We're going to throw it way back tonight. way back. Right here on those stations that I mentioned earlier. Thank you so much, as well as Facebook. Don't let me forget that. We're on Facebook as well. So if you want to see how funny I look, you should have seen me a couple of weeks ago. Ooh, now that was funny looking. It's funny now. I can laugh at it. Anyway, coming up in our last hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay. 4 songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. And like I said, comes up in our last hour here on Bedtime Stories. And I'm going to start it off with something long, meaning a song, that is. Isaac Hayes, I Stand Accused, from the Isaac Hayes movement, right here on Bedtime Stories, with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Nope, nobody yet, so I can keep eating, I guess. I better hurry up eating before Preston comes in. Bust me out. DJ Carl Diamonds, what's going on, sir? Good evening to you. Good to see you as always, sir. And whoever the other person is not speaking, but that's okay. I understand. Oh, that's me. Anyway, not speaking to myself. Oh, good. Okay. That should enhance what you already have. You don't have to hear my lousy voice anymore. I feel you, my brother. I feel you. Who's that background? Oh, get that out of there. What'd you say? No comment. That's okay. So when my voice is not wanted, it's all right. I will say this: they give you a lot of food at Pepe's. Give you a lot of food, man. Oh, I could possibly have this for lunch tomorrow if I don't eat it all tonight. Mmm. That I am, stuff in my face. I eat a light lunch. I don't know if that helps or not. I might snack on something, but when I get home, brother be hungry. Yeah. I didn't even get a chance to take a nap tonight, so I should be good and wiry tonight. You know, nice and wired. What's up, Ronnie? Mm-mm. DJ Carl Dobbins. To come back here. Tomorrow's the national holiday. Oh, it must be your birthday. Sheila Forrest. Mm-mm. I'm eating beans and rice. Thank goodness I'm sleeping by myself, right? Circumstance. Who's this texting me? You say you turned 30 again. I heard that. Sheila Forrest, I'm doing well. I still haven't gotten all my strength back, but I'm working on that. You know, I need one of those lift chairs to get up those 20 steps to my apartment. But I think that um, there's a purpose for those steps. You know, Lawana, hey, I know, take it one day at a time. Yep, for sure. 20 steps. But I can't complain because I was thinking about moving into a senior home. You know, most of them have, elevators and, you know, what do they call those chairs? Motorized wheelchairs. That's what they call them. So could have had one of those, but I'm good. You know, I said I wasn't scooters. Yeah, Debbie Drake, what's going on? I'm glad to be better, Debbie. Now I was going to move into a senior home where they, help you up and down the steps, elevator, all of that stuff. But you said lots of Geritol. hmm But I said no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not ready to be in no wheelchair, no rocking chair, no kind of chair, unless it's a recliner. I'm not. No, I ain't ready for assisted living. I'm just not. You know, I figure as long as I'm getting up, I can get out and get to work. You know, plus yeah, just pace myself. Yeah. Plus the young folks at work will not let me. I said I started to come up here on my cane. They said, you better not. 20 steps up to my apartment. They have independent living for 55 and older. Well, yeah, yeah. I'm just ready. I'm not ready to give up and I'm not ready to give in. That's not me. You know, I still want to be, you know, active, you know. Yeah. trying to continue to be as independent and active as possible. Miss Hill, what's going on? That's good. You don't want me to visit. No, right? You're like, get out of that chair. Herb almost drove around until he was, almost 89 years old when he passed. He almost continued to drive at that age. But, you know, I mean, even some of us at a young age seem to lose our sense of direction, and Herb was. So, um, his girlfriend Linda would drive him around, as did Cadillac Seth and Dave Johnson, and occasionally me. So, yeah. Mm. What'd you say, Miss Hill? You better not give up. Mm-mm. Ain't time to give up. Mm-mm. Giving up is giving in. All is well. Just sitting here, wrapping my brain about what's wrong with these young people and their no thinking brains, no respect. They don't listen, have the nerve to tell you what they will do before they do it. I give up on these young people in their teens and 20s. No common sense. You're absolutely right. No common sense. But whoever said that common sense was common, it just isn't. Hmm. TC, what's going on, TC? Thanks for joining us here on our Facebook Live. Not my Facebook Live, but our Facebook Live. I think I'm through eating on this, as I think I'm full. I really ought to start breaking out my belt and my extension cord. Mm. Mm. That is definitely old school. Talk about old school. um, Today at VLN, this guy said the word reefer. I, I'm like, did you say reefer, Mandine Muhammad? He said reefer. Now, that was a term that my dad used. And I'm sure everybody in that era that was smoking weed, as we call it, marijuana, weed, you know, loud, loud, loud. But when he said reefer, it reminded me of my dad because that's what he always used to say, reefer. You smoking the reefers? Nope. No, Dad. I'm not smoking the reefer. Smoking marijuana. Same thing. Reefers, marijuana. Now these days is blunts. They take a cigar and empty out all the tobacco in the cigar. What for? I don't know. You better smoke that cigar. Uh, Better than the Vallis police breaking out theirs. The Vallis police. Roy Ayers is no stranger to love, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. A few years ago, I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Roy Ayers. He had just done a concert in Hyde Park. And I mean, he tore it up. When I say he tore it up, he tore it up. You know, back in the day, they had, you know, the vibraphone, and they had to put microphones on the vibraphone. He had an electric vibraphone. I was like, you go ahead with your bad self. He played his heart out, and afterwards, I went up there. I said, "Can I get a selfie with you?" He said, "Sure." I put my arm around him. Right, his shirt was soaked. I had, excuse me, Roy Ayers sweat all over me. All over me. Yeah, he was sweating that hard. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Fanika Rogers, aka my baby mama, is Michael Jackson, lady of my life. Hello there, Nikki. How are you, Nikki? How's my baby? She's been keeping in touch with me. Yeah, I think my child actually likes me. Mm. Yeah, you just don't know how happy I am that I'm better, Troy. That's what you get for thinking. I know, right? Yep, this is going to make a great lunch tomorrow or dinner. Or dinner. If I don't drop it on the floor. Tie it up real tight. And try not to forget it for tomorrow night. There we go. Ooh, that's cool. He's back. Woo! Let's talk about why he has a moving blanket on the wall behind him. I was told it would make great soundproofing. That's why. And actually, it has worked. You know, it's cut down because, you know, this was an empty room when I moved in, of course. And I was having problems, you know, I guess deadening the sound in the room. So I found some old soundproofing laying around the radio station. Got some cork, put that on the wall, and somebody told me moving blanket. I said, a moving blanket? Okay. So I went to, was it Home Depot or one of those places? I said, where are your moving blankets? They pointed me in the direction, and that was it. Yep. He probably thought it was a poster, but couldn't find a frame that big. That's funny. Yep. So the moving blanket, before I bought it, I noticed that there were moving blankets in the elevator at work. I was like, okay, cool. So me with my crazy self, I talked into the moving blanket to see if it would absorb the sound, and it did. So I was going to cover the entire wall, but I said, oh, let me try this one first. So I want to buy a whole bunch of them, and it didn't work. And it's the only thing that actually stuck on the wall. Everything else fell down. So I had to get super glue, Gorilla Glue, two-sided tape, everything to keep the soundproofing up. So far it's worked. Only thing is, when I moved in, it was summertime, so the walls were sweating. So only one piece of soundproofing actually stayed up. So, yeah. What are the costs of moving blankets these days? About $15 or less. I'm like, okay. Moving blankets. And they usually use them to wrap TVs in. Yeah. According to Billy Stewart, the living is quite easy during the summertime. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 and ha. Mm-mm. Going to Paisley in June. I would love to go. If I save up enough money, maybe I can go. So, of course, June is his birthday. Yep. Yep. Wow. We haven't been to Paisley in years. I think it was his, if I'm not mistaken, his 40th birthday when we went. Yep. Mr. Nelson, we miss you. Yep. But back to the moving blankets. Yeah. Moving blankets are only like $15, but they are heavy and they get the job done. They do. They get the job done. Done and done. I see your friend, Mr. Club Steppen, is doing something at Kennedy King. Hmm. Is he really? Hmm. That's nice. He finally went back. He probably, I don't want to talk about him. You know, I just my mother always said, sometimes if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. You know, at one time, Lamont and I were so close. We were like brothers, but yeah, but that was back then. You know, but I wish him well. I do, but he and I can never work together ever, 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 ever again. Yep, he played nice. You two play nice in the sandbox. No, we are done. Mm-mm. He burned that bridge. He tore it down, burned it, ripped it apart, you know, and he used gasoline to burn it and destroyed the blueprints. We could can never go back. Never. But once again, I wish him well. I do. You know, like that Boll Weevil song. I wish you well. A song originally done by the Temptations, Luther Vandross. Since I Lost My Baby, right here on Bedtime Stories. The Peanut Butter Brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Well, looky there. It's going to be 65 degrees on Friday, and then Wednesday is going up to 68. But they're talking about showers. Now it's going to be warm, but they're talking about showers. Like, okay, I'll take the warm weather without the showers. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Coming up in our last hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay, 4 songs by one of your favorite artists or mine, male or female. And like I said, it comes up in our last hour. All right? All right. Shout out to Bernie Sanders, who's supporting Brandon Johnson for mayor of the city of Chicago. Yeah. Brandon needs all the help he needs, all the help he can get right now. He really does, because they're trying to throw stuff at him. They really are. They really are. Anyway, keep my opinions to myself. Here's the first of 2 in a row from the main ingredient on Bedtime Stories. On cloud nine, it's about to lose my cool. Don't unwind. Oh, spinning around. Miss Hill, I will have my hot tea and long sleeve shirt scarf wrapped around my neck, watching the young people get sick on Friday. All right, Granny, you go ahead. I don't think I've even taken my scarf off. I have two. I have what they call Burberry scarf, and then I have a thicker gray scarf that goes around my neck. And I'm not taking my scarf off until until the temperature reaches 70 and stays there. Otherwise, I will go outside. I will have my quarter length leather coat on with a lining. I ain't playing with this weather. My grandmother used to say, this is fool's weather. If you think, because it's going to be 60 degrees one day, you never know. It'll drop down to 30. This is Chicago. So, yep. I ain't playing with this weather. This weather is bipolar like a mug. I was like, I ain't going out like that. Mm-mm. Spinning around. I heard on the radio that the humidity is rising, the barometer is getting low. But it may have been a song. Ha 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 ha. Very funny. Sam gave me his card to help me find my father. Can you inbox me the number? Sam's number? Okay. Well, wait a minute. He gave you his card. How come his number wasn't on his card? Maybe he got a new number. I'm just saying. What you say, Miss Hill? Yes, it's a mess out there. Mellow, mellow. This past weekend was busy, funeral and other stuff. I didn't even see you at the funeral. It was that many people. I saw Dr. Terry Mason at the funeral. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, he was a guest tonight on Mandine Muhammad's show. So, if I didn't even see you at the funeral, there was just so many people there, just so many. I can't believe I can believe it, how packed it was. Like everybody who ever went to the taste, whoever worked at the taste, they were there. Bartenders, barmaids, security guards, strippers, you name it. Everybody was there at Don Simmons' uh, homegoing. I had a white hat on and beige. Yeah, it was. It was a very beautiful. Two in a row from the main ingredient. You've been my inspiration and spinning around with the original lead singer. His name was Donald McPherson. Speaking of Donald, of course, the homegoing for Donald Simmons was this past Saturday. Everybody who was anybody, entertainers, people who had worked for Don and Larry, bartenders, barmaids, security guards, you name it, everybody, and strippers, and strippers. I mean, it was packed. It was, wow. It was great. It was beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful funerals I have been to. Uh, some of them, were disorganized. It's like, okay, this is a funeral, people. Why are we, one of the last funerals I went to, a fight broke out at the funeral. It's like, okay, all right. I know you were a taste kitten. They had the taste kittens, and then they had the taste tigers. Yeah, Marie Simmons, very classy. Had and she taught the girls how to stand, how to sit, how to walk, everything. I mean, just talk about, you know, talk about having a finishing school for these ladies. None of that finna and all of that stuff. She would correct their English. She would correct the way they were walking. She would correct the way they sat in a chair or a stool at the bar. Marie had them in check, and that was wonderful. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And they would come out, and they would all be in step. They would all be in step. Anyway, memories about the Taste Entertainment Center, 6331 South Low. Here's more from the main ingredient. This time, a song originally done by The Impressions. This is I'm So Proud. It's Bedtime Stories. Sing it. Yes, she is. I'm passing that on to my glam granddaughters. I know that's right. where I first seen Chocolate Shake. He was there too. Shake was there. I was like, last time I saw Shake, we were in, where were we? Oh, we were at the Dunkin' Donuts over on Stony. And, he looks nothing like he does when he's, doing his thing. He didn't have the chains on. He had his glasses on. He looked, like he could have been a lawyer or something like that. So, and Shake still looks the same. Yeah, he still looks the same. You know, just as cool as he want to be. I'm like, I ain't mad at you, brother. Yep, still looking the same. I know, right? Michael Fitzgerald. Yep, him and Destiny, Chapel Arnold. I see why you all came up with these dancing names because your own names are just so plain and common. Fitzgerald. I'm like, go ahead. Uh, but it was to see them. Um, Tiki was there. Um, Unfortunately, Yvonne is in a wheelchair. Yvonne was one of the waitresses there at the taste. All right, I got to ask this. I don't know if you all are watching Channel 32 News, but there's this black girl on there. She's kind of thick. I'm trying to get her name. Anyway, Honey Love was there too. Yeah, Honey Love, Princess, who danced at one of my bachelor parties. She was talking to somebody else. I just put my hand on her shoulder and just waited for her to turn around and look at me. Yeah, she danced at one of my no, not she danced at one of my birthday parties one year, and it was just it's so funny because it's like I consider her like a sister. So when they said they had a surprise for me, and she came out, I was like, so what am I supposed to do with her? Or what's she gonna do to me? So I played it off like I didn't know her, and we just was basically putting on the show for them because it wasn't for us. It wasn't like she was doing something to me that hadn't been done before in private. So, but we had a ball back then. We were at the east of the Rhine. I never will forget. And one of the security guards, his name was Sugar. He's like, "We got a surprise for you, Al." And then Princess came out. I'm like, "Yeah, right. What am I going to do with her? She's like my sister." So, we both had those Bambi eyes, like, you know. Anyway, but yeah, that was quite a reunion. Like I said, of course, George Henderson, who used to take pictures, you know, George was there. George hasn't changed. He still looks the same, you know. But am I doing Money's birthday party? I don't think so. I have tickets for it though. So if anybody wants to buy tickets for Robert Money's birthday party, hit me up. I got them. They're $30 a piece. So if you want to go, let me know, and we can meet somewhere, and you can have your your tickets for $30. He told me, don't get these away. You got to sell these and you keep the money. I said, oh, okay. So they $30 for Robert Money's birthday party. He hasn't, people didn't know me. Okay. Doesn't matter who does that song. The impressions and the main ingredient. I'm so proud. Right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I have another version of that song done by the Isley Brothers. See if I can bring that one up. That one is a beautiful song as well. Yeah, there it is. Look at there. Anyway, once again, condolences go out to the family of Donald Simmons. I saw his wife, Gloria. She still looks the same. Still looks the same. I don't think she's had any work done. I just think it's just natural. Just natural. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I found the other version of I'm So Proud, this one by the Isley Brothers, on an album which was a tribute to Curtis Mayfield, right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I'm so proud. Go ahead. Trying to throw salt on them. Defund the police. Defund the police. They're crazy. Mm-hmm. Now, if that man wins and becomes the next mayor, they're going to eat those words. I swear. Mm-mm. I'm so proud. Mm-mm. By the way, while you guys are on the line, make sure you hit share on Facebook and share this video with other people. I'm so sorry. I'm so sleepy. Shanita Gayton, so you think BJ's got it in the bag to win? I would love to say that Brandon Johnson has it in the bag, but I think it's possibly in the stars that he will win. He has the support of the Chicago Teachers Union. Vallis has the support of the Chicago Police Department. So we'll see, Ms. Gayton. But, I would really love to see Brandon Johnson in office, And, it's not just because It's not a black and white thing. I think it's time for new blood to be put into City Hall. It's like putting old wine in new bottles. To me, Paul Vallis is just, you know, he's part of the machine. And if we keep putting band-aids on the machine, it's not going to work. It just isn't. That's my own personal opinion. If they let him run the city, and him not to come up against any opposition like Harold Washington did, I think he would make a great mayor. Russell Baker, shake and bake. But Chicago needs to be single for a while. Both of them can set all the way down. Thank you, Miss Hill. Even though you haven't sent my pictures yet, but that's okay. Yeah. Me too. Hopefully they won't Washington him. I hear you. I hear you. Let's hope he doesn't like coffee, right? Hopefully he brings his own coffee to work, okay? Or his own tea or whatever. Miss Hill said, I don't like Paul Vallis either. Once again, I think he is, he's like a spare tire as far as the machine is concerned. You know, it's like, okay, let's put him on, you know. I just don't trust him. I've heard so many negative things about him, and all he can say is that Brandon Johnson said he would defund the police. That's the only thing that can be said. But they said Paul Vallis left a trail of destruction everywhere he went. He tried to close Chicago State University at one time. I'm just saying. Tried to close them down. I'm just saying. So they said everywhere he went, you know, they had to shut something down. It's like, wow. So hey, John Caldwell, what's going on, sir? So we'll see. If he keeps running enough negative ads, maybe people, will get the message. I don't think I have not seen any negative ads um, run by Brandon Johnson against Vallis. If there's some out there, I haven't seen them yet. So like I said, it's like putting old wine in. Shake and bake. What's going on, sir? Miss Hill said, I saw the debate. I have some serious hardcore questions for him. Who, for Vallis? Hmm. What'd you say? Shake and bake, and I helped. Nobody got that but us, John. Vallis is uh, being supportive of Republicans. Johnson defunding the police, yada, 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 yada. I can't wait to see it over. Me too. Because when the dust clears and they finally find out that this man is not who he says he is, he's sneaky. He's just sneaky. The Memphis Horns and Just for Your Love, right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to John William Caldwell. Also to Russell Baker, Shake and Bake, and I helped. Also to Miss Hill and Miss Gayton, thank you so much for being on my Facebook Live. We all know that Wednesday is Hump Day, right? And of course, Tuesday is what, fellas? I'm gonna see if somebody's going to answer that. Tuesday is what, fellas? Well, I know it's Wednesday, but you know, for those of us who missed it. Anyway, Bedtime Stories is brought to you in part by Mama. Grubhub is a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis and Chicago, BiggsRadio.com, and WRLNRadio.com, your home for today's R&B hits and throwbacks. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And not one fella could tell me what Tuesday is. If Wednesday, of course, is Hump Day, Thursday is Throwback Thursday, then what is Tuesday? I don't believe none of the guys know what Tuesday is. And don't give me Taco Tuesday. That hell no. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep, with the greatest love songs of all time. I don't know how much of a love song this is. Sound like an anti-love song to me. Here's Mtume, You, Me, and He. What we gonna do, baby? I don't know. It's Bedtime Stories. Ms. Hill said Valance is going to run everyone out of Chicago. No, maybe not. Not the white folks. For those who are stuck in a rut, you know, those who are stuck in a rut, they will love him. You know. So we shall see on Was that April 4th? We shall see what's really going on. Ms. Hill said Vallis is going to run everyone out of Chicago. I doubt that. I really and truly doubt that. If he becomes the mayor, it's going to be business as usual, like it was with Rahm Emanuel, like it was with Richie Daley, like it was with Richard J. Daley. It's going to be business as usual. That's it. I'm just saying, we will go back to politics as it was back in the day. Yep. He has no new ideas to move the city forward. Vallis. And that's it. Huh. No, he can't go back to New Orleans. They ran him out of there. Oh, no. He can't go back to Philadelphia. He can't go back to New Orleans. No, he can't go back anywhere. That's just it. He's stuck here. Oh, yeah. Whew. Go back to New Orleans. He would not be welcome there. Trust me. Mm-mm. Oh, no. They will not be rolling out the welcome wagon for him, boy. Mm-mm. No, he's gonna have to stay here. They don't want him back there. It's like, y'all, y'all keep him, Chicago. We don't want him back. Oh no. We got rid of him. Y'all can have him. But it seems like, I should run for mayor. Nah. Nope, it costs too much to run for mayor. I suggested that to Riley Rogers, who was the mayor of Dalton. And he said it costs too much money to run for mayor. The advertising, the posters and everything else. He said, oh no. He said, I can't do it. I said, okay. So that was it. So I could never run for mayor of the city of Chicago. Mm-mm. Nope, don't want that responsibility. No. I don't even want to run another radio station. I'm already running 12 remotely. I'm not going to sit on the fifth floor. No way. Not doing it. Wouldn't be prudent. Ain't doing it. Guess we can go with Brandon Johnson then. I live in Maywood. Our election is coming up soon. Well, there you go. Mm, mm, mm. Hey, hey. I always thought because they recorded for Kurtztown Records that they were from Chicago. Originally, they were from San Francisco. Didn't know that. Didn't see that one coming. The Natural Folk Can This Be Real, which features Curtis Mayfield on guitar, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. I keep hearing the same thing about this mayoral race here in Chicago. They keep saying legendary or historic. The words historic and legendary. I'm like, there's nothing historic about it until we actually go ahead and elect a new mayor. Then it will be historic. If we elect the right mayor, it will be historic. If not, it will be business as usual on the fifth floor. I'm just saying something that the pastor said a few months ago. He said, you can't put old wine into new bottles. And that's basically what's going to happen. This man tried to close Chicago State University. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Miss Hill once again. She says that Dallas needs to go back to New Orleans. I don't think he'll be welcome there. I don't. They will not roll out the red carpet for him when he comes back to New Orleans. I doubt it seriously. Anyway, we do a little thing on the other show, which is same song, different artist. Well, here's one. Here's Luther and Gregory Hines from Miss Hill on Bedtime Stories. After day away, so that I can hear her say, she's still in love. Take a love away. Ooh, every night. Words could only make me feel this way. She's still in love, and nothing can take her love away. Where can you I'll be thinking of? Oh, shut up, Preston. Stow it! Stow it, dingy! Every night, I cannot go to bed without watching Alice. I'm like, Alice and Vera stayed there for the whole time. That show stayed on for what, 10 years? And neither Alice or Vera quit. Now they had Flo and they had Jolene and Belle, but Alice, she stayed the whole time. Linda Lavin and Dingy, they stayed for the whole show. I was like, dang, I'd have quit. Alice just stayed. She was like, I'm riding this horse forever. Yep, they rode out. Mm-mm-mm. Old Uncle Jesse. Vote for Paul, getting behind Paul Vallis. All right. Mm-mm. I think Paul Vallis is behind them. You know what I mean? You know. You know what I'm thinking is when remember when Rauner ran for governor and he had all of the big time preachers in his pocket. You remember that? He had Meeks, he had Reverend Stephen Thurston, he had all the top preachers in the city. And some of their congregations suffered because they backed Rauner, meaning the pastors. They backed Rauner like he was the second coming. I was like, okay. So when he was, one term governor, that was it. I guess his money got funny, or he cut the preachers off. I'm just saying, we ain't had no problems out of JB. JB know who to put in his pocket. You see, he don't spend his money on suits. He had the same gray, blue, and black suits every time I would see him. Every time he come down to BON, he had the same suits on. You know, he had the same clothes on every time. Only thing he did was go get a haircut and had them to put some Just for Men in his hair, so he could still look like Fred Flintstone and what's my man Peter Griffin. That's who he looked like. Ah, as your governor, Lois, I'm speaking right now, Lois. Okay, Peter. Chris, could you get me a drink? Katrina Worley, what's going on, sis? And to my entire Worley family, love you guys. I really do. Hmm. Probably closer to you guys than I am my own brothers. Just saying. Well, I'm just saying. Anyway, Katrina, tell everybody I said hello. I love you guys. We love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Cynthia Bean. That family got money. They don't care about clothes. I know, right? He probably got what? He probably got a bunch of suits in the closet, but they're all the same color and the same style. Let me see. Which one am I going to wear tonight, Lois? And a tuxedo. Blue, black, gray suits. Blue, black, and gray. You know, the only thing he spend money on is a haircut and some dye. I ain't mad at him. It's Dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Daddy Whirly. What's going on? Tell him I said happy birthday. I did his retirement party. I said, what you gonna do now, Dad? He said, go fishing. I said, I heard that. He said, go fishing. He said it just like that. I said, what you gonna do now, Dad? Go fishing. Okay. All right. But that's old school. People with money don't spend money on clothes. It's our dumbasses, excuse my language, that spend our money on clothes. We got to have the suits, and the suits got to match the hats, and the hat match the shoes. We got to, and I ain't talking bad about them. We got to look like Robert Money before we even go outside the house. You know, even on Robert Money's worst day, he still got on a fur jacket. you know, I mean, after all, his name is Robert Money. I mean, but it's like people with money, they ain't flashy like that. They, you know, 4 suits in the closet, black, blue, gray, and maybe I've never seen J.B. Pritzker wear a brown suit ever. You can go back to some of the pictures. You can Google him, Google him, and you will not see him in a brown suit to save his life. Dark gray, charcoal, black, and maybe navy blue. But you won't see him in no brown suit. Forget about it. Tan? Oh, hell no. And probably had the same shoes. They probably some Cole Haans that he spent $125 to $200 on that he got from Marshall Field. No, not what it is now, whatever it is now. No, I'm talking about Marshall Fields. He probably got them back then. Yeah, we're special. JB can't fit everything. It don't matter. He can have them made. They hold on to their money or they buy buildings. We go out and buy cars. We got a whole fleet of cars and can't afford the insurance and the license plates and the stickers on them. But we got cars. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby, yeah, they're my cars out there, Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't even think JB drives. That's how cool that is. He don't even drive. What I need a car for? I'm the governor. It's always a SUV waiting for him to get into. Drive. And get these black, blue, and gray suits dirty? Are you kidding me? Most politicians don't wear tan. Obama he caught hell for wearing tan. He sure did. They had a fit. Oh my God. Oh, what is that he has on? A tan suit. Oh no. In the history of presidency, no one has ever worn a tan suit that was the president of the United States. But he looked damn good in it now, didn't he, ladies? Y'all talking about Fred Flintstone. Yabba dabba doo. Mesa and Luther and Mr. Gregory Hines. There's nothing better than love. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. The difference between poor folks and rich folks, or poor folks with money and rich folks. Here's a perfect example. Governor J.B. Pritzker. You'll never see him in a tan suit, a white suit, a cream color suit, a seersucker suit. He's always wearing gray or navy blue or maybe even a black suit. You'll never see him dressed up. You'll never see him draped in gold. You'll never see him with some Stacey Adams on. No, probably some old Cole Haans, $200 Cole Haan. You'll never see him. You will never, ever. Yep. Now, on the other hand, remember the year that, our president, he will always go down as our president. He wore a tan suit and people lost their monkey minds. Oh my God, Obama's wearing a tan suit. In the history of the presidency, no president has ever worn a tan suit. Well, guess what? Obama wore a tan suit and he looked damn good in it. No homo. He looked damn good in it. Didn't he, ladies? Looking all cool and stuff with his shades on. It's like, Michelle said, yeah, you're going to get some tonight, Mr. President. Yeah, I picked that suit out. Mm-hmm. So how did I look the other day? I'm about to show you. Here are the moments on Bedtime Stories. Y'all know Michelle's from the south side of Chicago. Need I say more? She probably out of him that night. She's like, "Ooh, you look so good. Come here. Come here. Come here. Can you smell what I'm cooking, Barack?" She probably, woo. She probably raped him that night. Michelle, go easy on me. I have a meeting in the morning. You're going to be late, bro, man. Miss Hill said, yabba dabba doozy, baby. Mm-mm. But she said dark colors make him look small. Shanita said, if you're talking about Fred Flintstone, he got his name and family name up and downtown and in Northwestern Hospital and school. I think that is. Yeah. Super late. Call them and I'll tell them you will be late. I know, right? Michelle probably picked that suit out. I bet you won't wear that tan suit I bought you. Well, I don't know. Never in the history of the presidency has any president ever worn a tan suit. But for you, Michelle, I'll wear it. I'll put it on. If you think it's okay. No. I'm going to put it on now. And I'm going to see how it looks. So, what do you think? I think you better hurry up and come home, Mr. President. Got some South Side to put on you, bro. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he probably felt really presidential that night. Yes. Mm-mm. The White House ain't been that shook since Bill Clinton and what's her name? The one with the cigar. You know her. You remember her. Well, mm-mm. So Michelle, what do you think of this suit? You think I should wear it? Well, now I'm going to wear it because you bought it. You picked it out. So I'm going to wear it. And the American people are just going to have to, you know, deal with it. Just saying. Oh, no. Mm-mm. She probably looked back at him as he was walking off and said, you better hurry up home. Mm-mm. And out of all the presidents that we've ever had, Barack was one of the most fit presidents we've ever had in the White House, period. You had fat ass Trump. You had, you know, box head, what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Both of them, him and his blackhead daddy. Sorry, he dead, but I'm telling you. What you say? He tossed that suit in the trash. Just like Frank Lucas did that fur coat and hat. I know, right? He threw that stuff in the fireplace. Didn't you see that movie, American Gangster? Denzel came home. He's like, he's like, what? damn, I look like every other pimp that was, He said, shoot, I'm taking this stuff off. He said, I will not be caught dead with this pimp stuff on. He had the pimp suit on. just like Frank Lucas. Frank came home, he like, yeah, the guy with the fur coat on, the fur hat, yeah, He's like, no way. But if you notice, people with money, white folks with money, are not flashy. They are not. You know, they are just not. You know. Now, unless he's Mr. White folks, that's a different story. But you never see Warren Buffett wearing a green suit with a matching hat and some green suede shoes. You just won't. With a big medallion around his neck with a dollar sign. You just won't see that. You know, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, none of them. You know, they don't spend their money on clothes and jewelry and all of that stuff. They spend it on their wives so that they can have gold and jewelry and coats and all of that stuff. They don't wear that stuff. They probably go to lens crafters just like we do and get two for the price of one. Good news, I'm no longer a suspect in the death of UB Blake. Anyway, he didn't even pick that pimp outfit. His girl did him in. I know, right? I hear you. I hear you. Shoot, Frank got home. He took that stuff off. He was like, oh, hell no. But he put it on. She picked it out. He put it on. You know, just wasn't feeling it. He just wasn't. And he hurried up and got rid of the stuff. It's like, oh no, You got you got me out here bad, honey. You got me out here bad. You got me out here like they could, pick me out of a lineup. I'm sorry. You will never see Caucasians with money dressed like no pimp. You just won't. That's us. Big cars and everything else. They have a bunch of cars. A fleet of Rolls Royces or whatever. But that's us. With the furry dice and the shag carpet inside the car. That's us. White folks don't do that. That's some ninja stuff. That's something we started. Like I hate to say it, and I love him. May he rest in peace. Isaac Hayes had a reel-to-reel in the backseat of his Cadillac, which is on display at the Stax Museum in Memphis. A reel-to-reel in the back seat. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Which is not as bad as Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali had a record player in his car. A record player. Before 8-track tapes, before cassettes, before CDs. The greatest champ of all time had a record player in his car. My thing is, what happened when you hit the bumps? Because back in the day, they always like to bump the table. Hey, can't you see I'm DJing here? Get up off my table. Oh. Two in a row from Harry Ray, Al Goodman, and Billy Brown, aka The Moments. I could have loved you. I could have. I really could. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Preston Shanks. We were talking about the difference between people with money and people with money. Warren Buffett. Um, who else? What was that other guy? Elon Musk. You never see them brothers with no fur coats on. You just don't. You know, like on Shark Tank, you don't see Mr. Wonderful with a fur coat on, draped in gold. Now you see Damien sitting next to him, with some gold on or something like that. But not Mr. Wonderful. None of that stuff. That's how you know somebody's got money because they're not flashy. You know, I'll put on my suits, but I'm not draped in gold like certain people. Gold for the honey and green for the money. I'm just saying. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Just ahead of Foreplay with Marcus Miller and Michelle Degocello. This is Rush Over from the Love Jones soundtrack with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never ever to sleep. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Which one? Because hold on, because the one that I found, let's see, Marcus Miller. Was it much too much? I'm about to play that one anyway. I love that song. I got it. I got it. Much too much. I'm about to play it now, sir. Love this song. Yep, much too much coming up, sir.
Hi, this is Gina, one of Al's gals, and you're listening to Al Greer with Bedtime Stories on WOSD Radio.
And there's your song. Thanks for writing in. I'm Casey Kasem, and I'm still dead. For a long time, they wouldn't let us know if he was dead or not. Charlie Parker said, I was way more talented than Joe Liggins. All right. Mm-mm. Marcus Miller. Marcus. I love it. His voice ain't much, but the arrangement is wonderful. And I don't understand. As many songs as Marcus played on with Luther, he can never get a hit by himself. The same thing with Lisa Fisher. Yeah, she couldn't get a hit either, except that one. And I don't even think Luther produced that one. Maybe Luther didn't like the song. He's like, you know, and it's a possibility they may have collaborated on the song. And Luther was like, no, you can have that, man. I don't know sing that song. Luther was busy doing remakes of people's songs. You know, if you think most of Luther's most popular songs are songs that he didn't write. Anyone who had a heart, house is not a home. Since I lost my baby, he redid Love Won't Let Me Wait. All of those are remakes. Superstar, Till You Come Back to Me. Till you come back to me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna knock on your door, tap on your window pane. That was Aretha Franklin / Stevie Wonder. So all of his hits were already hits when he redid them. You know, so he didn't have too many. I mean, okay, he wrote Never Too Much, but the hit on the album was what? House is Not a Home. That is a drop down show enough classic. Yeah. What'd you say? Lisa Fisher, although she's in the class all by herself, her high notes were sheesh. Okay. Lisa won a Grammy for a hit. She never wanted to be a solo artist. Yeah, because she always she sang backup for Tina Turner, the Rolling Stones, uh, Luther. Yeah, she was a backup singer who just happened to have the pipes to go out front, but she never pursued it. Luther wanted to cover a Jerry Lee Lewis song, but none of them are about hot dudes. Hot dudes are. Thank you, Troy. Mm-mm. Marcus Miller, and Never Too Much for Preston Shanks, right here on Bedtime Stories. Marcus was an accomplished, bass player who also played not the oboe, but he played a bass clarinet. If you listen to the song Rush Over, he's playing both bass and bass clarinet. He does a bass clarinet solo on that particular song. But he could never get a big hit by himself. He was always, Luther's side man in the studio. So anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. We're just about 11 minutes away from foreplay on Bedtime Stories. What are you saying? Miss Hill said, I'm waiting Luther now. I want to hear the story behind Can I Take You Out Tonight, which was an actual new song. Out of all of Luther's songs, all of his hits were remakes. House is Not a Home, Bad Boy Having a Party, Anyone Who Had a House, anyone who had a heart. He redid Since I Lost My Baby, Love Won't Let Me Wait, Superstar Until You Come Back to Me. Superstar was originally done by Brenda Russell. No, I take that back. The Carpenters. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? Yeah, Luther took that and made an anthem out of it. I'm just saying. Anyway, Preston said check out her version of Star of the Story, which I'm sure she tore that up. I'm sure she tore that up, as she did with this song. It's Lisa Fisher, who sang behind the Rolling Stones, Tina Turner, and of course the great Luther Vandross. Here's How Can I Ease the Pain? Mm-mm. Luther, Luther, Only for One Night is Brenda Russell. Yeah, yeah. I heard her version. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, okay. Luther was right to take that and remake it. There will never be another like Luther. You're absolutely right. There'll never be another like Luther. Luther was actually told that he couldn't sing. They would not sign him to a contract for nothing. Yep. And that's just it. Luther loved good lyrics, and it didn't matter who wrote them. It didn't matter. He practically redid the entire Burt Bacharach, Hal David, Dionne Warwick catalog. Who said my uncle couldn't sing? A lot of record companies would not sign him. And see, Luther wanted to, produce his own music. He didn't want anybody looking over him. His first album was executive producer, produced by Larkin Arnold, who oversaw the project. All he got was an album credit. He actually didn't do anything. Luther did everything on his own. Him, Marcus Miller, and Nat Adderley. You know, he was self-contained. He took some of the best musicians out of New York and put them together in the studio. And album after album, it was just, bam. The Night I Fell in Love, bam. Busybody, bam. You know, never too much. Just cranking them out, bam. Like, take that. Luther was killing them. Woo! You couldn't tell him nothing. He did a whole right. He did a whole album, Always and Forever. All the Man That I Need by Whitney. Like Luther? Anyway. Wasn't Luther a vocal arranger as well? Yes, he was. As a matter of fact, if you listen to all the Chic records, he is singing background in all of them. Every single, even once he blew up, they still gave him album credit of singing. But you know, after a while, it was like, don't even put my name on the album no more. You know, I don't need the publicity. If you listen to Sister Sledge, We Are Family, you'll hear Luther in the background. Luther is singing We Are Family. He's the greatest dancer. Everything Chic made. I want your love. I want your love. That's Luther. And of course, Lucy and Alpha. But that's Luther and Fonzie and every other New York session singer to fatten up the track, because Lucy and Alpha were good singing in they were good singing in concert. Thank you, and Roberta Flack's albums and David Bowie's albums. He sang background on "Fame" by David Bowie. Fame, fame. Yeah. Roberta Flack told him he needed to move up front, and yeah, she pushed him out of the nest. Yep. I was disappointed about the movie Mississippi Burning. I thought it was about Mississippi. John Hurt smoking weed. Okay. Troy. She told him he needed to go solo. Yeah, she sure did. She certainly did. The best advice she should have given him, or she could have given him. Yep. Yep. She gently kicked him out. Roberta is good for foreplay artists one day. I think all she has is 4 songs. I'm just saying. All right, let me run to the bathroom. I'll be right back as I tear up my headphones. Oh, Lord. Pardon the dead air there. Had to run to the bathroom right quick. Morris Day, Love is a Game. right here. One of his, not so great solo hits. He could have easily have gone solo, but why? Why? It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Once again, hello to Miss Hill, Preston Shanks, and my brother from another mother, Victor D. Jackson, who you can catch on Instagram with Blue Lights in the Basement. That's right. Check him out, y'all. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Bedtime Stories is brought to you by your good friends at Grubhub. Mm-mm. 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 Grubhub is a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories here on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis and Chicago, BiggsRadio.com, and WRLNRadio.com, a Ray Neal media station, your home for today's R&B hits and throwbacks. Hello once again to Ken Watlington, Victor D. Jackson, aka Slick Vic, Preston Shanks, and Miss Hill. Thank you so much for staying up with me here on Bedtime Stories. I ask that everybody who's on Facebook right now to hit the share button. That way it'll look like a whole bunch of people are watching me all at once, right? Yeah, I'm greedy like that. We were talking about this gentleman earlier. Every song that he made was a remake. It was already a hit, so it was easy to get a hit off of it. All you had to do was kind of put some more oomph into it. Songs like Anyone Who Had a Heart. Um, I mean, you already know what I'm talking about. House is Not a Home. Shall I Go On? All of Luther's popular songs were all remakes of other people's songs. And it just kind of fit, especially he was, a big fan of Dionne Warwick. So he damn near did all of her songs over again. And I remember him singing House is Not a Home in front of her. And she had this look on her face like, was that my song? Did I do that song? Yeah, you did that song. Yeah. But Luther, yeah, I'm sorry, Dionne. Luther did it better. From his first solo album, the album with Never Too Much on it, here's Luther's House is Not a Home, as we feature the music of Luther Ronzoni Vandross Jr. inside Foreplay on Bedtime Stories. Doom, doom. Bow, bow. Kendall. Spoo-doo-boo-doo. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, hello, goodbye, baby. Uh, Ken, I am much better than I was, was it 2 weeks ago. Yep. Man, I was really out of it. I mean, the back of my neck, I had pain back here. This is swole up. Like, whew. I mean, my ears were popping like I was on an airplane. But, excuse me, but God is good. God is good. I don't care what nobody says. Preston said, leaving the gym, it's closed. We used to shut clubs down. You shut down gyms. I ain't mad at you, bro. I used to go to Bally's. Remember Bally's over on 87th Street? It's now like a Oak Street Health Center or something like that for seniors. But I remember one night I was at Bally's, right? And there was this young lady on the treadmill, and she was getting it, boy. And then she turned sideways and was getting it sideways on the treadmill. And then she was going backwards on the treadmill. I found out who that young lady was. And you're not going to believe this. And you all may have to do a Google search on this person because you're probably not in the know like that. But when I say the name Sydney Starr, Sydney was in Bally's that night before they closed down. Sydney and my niece went to school together. Back then, Sydney was known as Stephen Favors, but she became a she. Well, as far as I know. So I went to went to a basketball game where my niece Nicole was cheerleading, and there was this really tall person, and that tall person was Sydney. I said, "Who is that?" She said, "Oh, that's Sydney. What's a Sydney?" Okay, so yeah, so Stephen became Sydney, and Sydney's been on TV with one of those reality shows where the girls are always beating each other up and throwing stuff at each other. So, yep, representing Chicago to the fullest. It's right on, Sydney. Sydney Star. How am I feeling? I'm feeling much better, John. Much better. Much better. I was really, yep. Stephen went to Sydney. Yep. Stephen went to Sydney. But I mean, everything was, my ears were swollen. I had to take my earrings out. I look like Will Smith in Hitch. I look like Martin Lawrence when he got beat up by Tommy Hitman Hearns. I look like that, everything. My whole head was just like, my eye was closed, everything. It was terrible. It was terrible. In the words of Charles Barkley. It was terrible. Yeah, Stephen went to Sydney. Yeah. Stephen started taking female hormones real early in his life and made almost a full transformation, almost. Yes, I had an allergic reaction. Yes. It was awful.
Now Greer.
Yep. Who is this person? I was talking about Sydney Starr. She's in like the Bad Girls Club on one of those reality shows. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, one of those. Yeah, John. Yeah. But you can never tell until Sydney goes to the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah. Sydney still has her original, can't say lady bits. Yeah. Lady bits. Mm, the angle of the dangle. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. The angle of the dangle. If only for one night. Ooh, just missed it. Just missed it. Mm-mm. Has anybody, changing the subject here, has anybody tried that? What do they call it? Car Shield. Anybody tried Car Shield? I just want to know if, it's worth investing in. Because they say, they fix your car, but it's up to a certain amount of miles and a certain year. Because I have an '02 Toyota Solera, and it's got 200, was it 28, 280,000 miles on it. And I don't think they're gonna drop a new engine in that joker. I really don't. Uh, I heard they were pretty good. I know a few people who have used it. I am Miss Hill. Thank you. Because I'm interested in doing that. But my cars, both of them, my Dodge Caravan has 110,000 miles on it. It's a 93, 94. Um, my my Solera is a '02 with 280,000 miles on it. I'm like, man, They not gonna fix that car. They not gonna give me no rent a car and let me drive a new car. Nah, my cars are too old. I'll call my cousin first thing in the morning and ask her. Okay, cool. That's cool. You know, I just want to know, is it worth it? I mean, it's, I'm already paying insurance on two cars, so. But the cars are only covered under what is it, liability. I'm like, now when I had my Kia, of course, it had full coverage on it because it was a brand new car. I'm like, car get busted up, I get another car, right? But on the Solera, it's paid for. The Dodge Caravan, it's paid for. That's it. You know, the insurance is if I hit somebody else who don't have insurance, and then I'm covered. So, but I doubt a car shield would shield me. Creep. Now, the first time Luther did that, they needed something at the end of a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial. So Luther came up with that, we do chicken right. And that was in one of his commercials when he was a jingle singer. But he wouldn't use it for a while. And then one night he just busted it out and they lost their minds. They were like, what did he just do? And they lost their minds, boy. They was like, what did he just do? And they loved it. Mm-mm. What's the story about Luther eating a bucket of chicken before every performance? That came from a joke by Eddie Murphy. Eddie said, "Yeah, Luther's a big Kentucky Fried Chicken eating mother." So that's where it came from. So Luther felt like, okay, I'll show you. So he would show up in certain cities with a bucket of chicken because of Eddie Murphy's joke. You know, some people thought it was in poor taste that Eddie would talk about Luther and his weight. Luther was like, he talking about me in his act? Oh, oh, hell yeah. So he came out with the chicken. No, it's not a rumor. That, sir, was the truth. Like you. You remember the joke? And it was a joke, but Luther, he was like, okay, I'll show you. And he used to show up with a bucket of chicken. Boom, boom. Phyllis. I feel much better, Phyllis. I really do. Much better. Didn't think I was going to make it there for a minute. Because those pictures of you being sick was terrible. Whew. Yeah, it was. It didn't feel good either. And there are times where now I still feel like my eyes closing up because for those 2 days that my eye was closed, I was trying desperately to open it. And I think I may have done some damage trying to open, trying to pull it open and it just slowly closed back up. And I was like, I got tired of looking like that. It just hurt my feelings, you know.
Greer.
I heard there are some casting stunt doubles for Will Will Smith's new movie Hits too. Thanks, Greg. Oh no. Oh, oh God. Thanks. Thanks there. Yeah, Greg. Thank you. Yep, I would fit right in. All I gotta do, you know. Mm-mm. I mean, it was just, whew. I I just don't know how to explain it. My eye felt heavy. It felt like someone had hit me, for real. Everybody was teasing me. It's like, did somebody hit you? Did some girl beat you up for not giving her none? I was like, none of that stuff. I didn't get hit. I didn't run into things, anything. I heard Al Greer went to middle school with Sister Rosetta Tharp. Yeah, I sure did. Yeah. She was my music teacher. Yeah, my face explained it. Yeah. I was like, man, my feelings were hurt. You know, I don't know any other way to explain it, but you know, it was bad. It was just bad. I got to take these boots off. I feel like my feet are swelling up inside of the boots. Mm-mm. Yeah, that's better. Mm-mm. Yeah. Yep. I don't. I don't know. I don't know any other way to describe it, but my feelings were just hurt. My feelings were hurt because I look like that. And I went out the house looking like that. I'm like, I got to go get my medication. I don't care what I look like. And what did I do? Ran into one of my students slash interns at Walgreens of all places. And this girl lives on the west side. What the hell was she doing over at Walgreens? And she saw me. I said, and and I spoke to her, and she didn't recognize me at first. I'm sitting there like, Neff, it's me, Al. She was like, you better stop playing. She's like, she's been texting me ever since. How are you feeling? Do you feel better? Yes, I feel much better. I think I scared her because she had this look on her face like, you know, monster gonna get you, lady. It was bad. But and of course no one came to see me. Guess they didn't want to see me like that. None of them. Nobody. At least somebody could have said, excuse me, bring you some chicken soup or something. No, they wouldn't come near me. You know. And everybody thought I printed those pictures to get sympathy. I didn't. I really didn't. I did it because I thought I should bring awareness to people who don't wash their hands or others who don't wash their hands. If you know what I mean. Go to the bathroom and just walk out, you know, or just go in the bathroom, rinse your hands off with some water and no soap and walk out. I want to tell you, Hey, son, I love you too, man. You enjoy your night at work. Don't work too hard. People don't really take initiative in washing their hands. It's really sad. I know. I know. And it's just not, you know, it's just not right. It really isn't. It's not right. Then they want to be all up in your face, shaking your hands, like, nah, bro. You know, just call me Howie Mandel. I don't want to talk. I don't want to touch your hands. Don't get too close to me. And you, you have to, John. I'm not. Pardon me. I'm not trying to turn into a germaphobe, but I'm just saying, it's a scary situation. You go to work, you rub or scratch your face or lay your face on something, or because we have this couch at work at my Thursday night job. You best believe it's gonna be covered. If I lay on that couch, we'll have my own blanket and everything. My face is not gonna touch that couch. Phyllis says, so I fist bump. Greg said I elbow bump during COVID. I know, right? It was like you, and that's just it. We didn't know who had it or who didn't, and we just didn't know. We just didn't know. I keep 5 bottles of bacteria soap, Joy dishwashing liquid. Okay. Like, please don't touch me, especially at work. Keep it on my desk, sanitizer. John said spray it down with Lysol. I, I know, right? So, mm, anyway, I heard Buddy Guy's first name is Friend Dude. Friend Dude. That's funny. Mm-mm-mm. Not Friend Dude. That's funny. But yeah, I had to cover the couch, everything, you know. But mm-mm. No, no. Saying Luther. Nobody, absolutely nobody, could capture an audience like Luther. Superstar from one of his last albums, the live album that he did at Madison Square Garden. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Casper, who's a big fan of Keith Sweat's Sweat Hotel. As I could tell, he's asking me to do stuff while I'm on the air. I'm like, I'm on the air, bro. I'm not listening to you. I'm listening to Keith Sweat. Not a fan of yours. I don't get down like that. I play his songs, but he listens to Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat's trying to sound like me. I'm just saying. But anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Dr. Al Greer. And speaking of Keith Sweat, he was in concert recently at the United Center. And Keith said something on stage that, and I was like, really? I wasn't there, but the gentleman that whose show I produce, Atiba Buchanan, along with Darling Hill, he went to the concert, and he said that Keith Sweat said that he should have been the headliner on the tour. I'll just let that marinate for a while. Keith Sweat said he should be the headliner on the tour. He said he was very adamant about it. I'm like, the headliner? You got one song out. I'm sorry. 2 songs out. Make It Last Forever and I Want Her. And you thought you should be the headliner? Man. I tell you. Some of these guys out here, I'm like, bruh, you're half a singer, and anyway, I'm not even gonna talk about him, and it's cool, it's cool, everybody's got to have a hustle, but it's like, stick with your hustle, brother. You're a singer. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, don't delve into radio, but of course you got a big fan in Willie Casper Perry, so I ain't mad at you. At least you got one fan, because he don't listen to his brother. He's like, he a club owner. I'm just a legendary radio personality trained by the greats Herb Kent. I know. You got a record out, Casper. I get it. I ain't nobody. I understand. I understand. I couldn't be the man in your eye if I tried, even though I am to everybody else. I get it. I understand. Herb was the man. Ain't nobody will come after him. It'll just be some Herb Kent wannabes. Oh, anyway. You keep listening to Keith Sweat. Somebody got to listen to that mother. Shut your mouth. Yeah. And I might be wrong, I may be wrong about this whole thing. You know, Keith might actually be the man. I saw the ratings that came out, and he was like number one in nighttime. I'm like, okay, yes, long live Herb Kent. I cannot even listen to 102.7 on Sundays anymore since he passed. Yeah, well, Casper does. He loves Crazy Howard McGee. That's his boy. That's his buddy. Not me, but he loved Howard and Ramoski. I'm like, I'm into the classics. I'm into the ones that came before me, and those that I try to imitate and emulate. You know, I'm not into anybody who came after me. I'm just saying, you know, Howard used to call me on the air when I was at 1390 after I replaced Herb Kent. So, when Herb went over to V103, I took his place at Dusty Radio 1390, and Howard would call me on the hotline saying, "Man, I knew you was gonna make it, man." I said, "Yeah, okay." You know, I know you too busy with you. I know you iHeart baby. I know. You know, he iHeart. I feel you, brother. 40 years, 40. I'm just saying. You know, 40 years and 7 radio stations. 3 of them I ran, but yours is heard in 20 different languages. I know. Ah, did I mention I was on WVON when I was a teenager? Maybe I didn't. You know. How soon they forget, when people were out there, skating and stuff. I was on the radio. Just saying. I mean, that doesn't make anybody better than anybody. It's just I'm just a Herb Kent wannabe. That's all. He said he's busy with his own station. I know that's right. I know, you know, but I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, yeah. Me too. I'm busy with my own stations. The ones that I consult, the ones that I voice track for. But once again, I'm a Herb Kent wannabe. So, you know, he's cool. He's cool. You the man. Woo, Luther. Woo, Luther. Let me read. Yep. That's just one station, sir. 24/7. I feel you. Yeah, I hear you. Take out dinner. How much did you spend per person? $10 on chicken, fries, wings. How was Starbucks? I never even went to Starbucks. They asking me about Starbucks. I never even walked in there. The Amber Inn. I never went in there either. They're always asking me about these places that I never go into. Wait. Lufer. Amber's in Pearl's place. No wonder. I'm like, I never went into Amber Inn. I haven't been there in years since I was escaping from my first wife. That's a long story. Well, to make a long story short, one night we had a knockdown, drag out argument. So I ended up going to 39th in Michigan and spending the night at the Amber Inn. Of course, she didn't know where the hell I was because she's not from here. So she had no idea where I was. Like, keep it like that too. But it was funny. It's funny now, but it was just the craziest thing. She kept calling, "Where are you? Where are you?" And I wouldn't stay on the phone long enough for her to trace it. Where are you? Well, obviously I'm not at home. And then she'd always do the same thing. She'd be like, "I'm sorry, come back home." I did that one time, right? "I'm sorry, come back home." I did. And she grabbed my phone and ran out the door with it and took the phone to work with her. I was like, I think we're done here. It was the funniest. It's funny now. At that time, she took my phone, right? And people were calling me the whole day. I went to work, no phone. People were like, "Man, I've been trying to call you all day." I said, I didn't have my phone. What'd you do? Lose it? Leave it at home? No. My wife snatched the phone and ran out of the house with it and went to work. And they just looked at me like, "You let her take your phone?" I said, "It was on the nightstand. It rang the night before. It was some girl calling me that didn't know that I was married because, I didn't, let everybody know that I was getting married. And those who weren't on Facebook didn't know that I'd gotten married. So people were still calling my number. "What you doing?" "Laying here next to my wife. I got married." Yeah. But of course, that ended quickly. Got married in August, was divorced. Well, not divorced, but separated in November. Yeah. it was a it was a sad situation. I was more embarrassed than anything because I really thought that the marriage could be fixed. It was doomed from day one. The day of the marriage, the day of the wedding, my truck broke down. I had a white van. Sound familiar? Yeah, I keep a white van. The van broke down, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get to the wedding. She said, "You better find a way to get there." I was like, "Oh, it's like that. Okay." So my buddy Dino, he came and picked me up, and he made me sit in the back seat of his van as if he were chauffeuring me around, and that was it. And at the wedding, Dino stood outside of the door of the church to make sure that if they weren't on the list, to not let them in. If it looked like a crazy ex-girlfriend, he knew who to look for. Don't let them in until after it's over with. Then after that, it's too late. They can't stop anything. You know, that part where they say if anybody disagrees, this, that, and the other, da, 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 da. Right. So, yeah. It was a funny day. It actually wasn't. It's funny now. It wasn't funny that time, but you know. Come closer now. Luther and Beyonce, of all people, on Bedtime Stories. The closer I get to you. Luther did a few duets with other people, but for the most part, he didn't like singing. I don't think he even liked singing with other people. And he only sang with them once. He did one song with Mariah Carey, he did one song with Beyonce, he did one with Martha Wash. Greg Moore, good evening. And he did one song with Cheryl Lynn. I heard Al's first marriage was to Eartha Kitt in 1959. Can anyone confirm? Well, considering I wasn't born in 59, wasn't born until 60, I guess that would be a falsehood. Anyway, Greg Moore, what's going on, sir? Always good to see you. I know, right? He's funny. in, in the words of Billy Sparks in Purple Rain, nobody likes you but yourself. You know, another breakfast in 2 months. Cool. I can't wait, sir. I can't wait. Looking forward to it. It's always great to break bread with brethren. In June, should be warm then. We can take pictures outside, actually. You know, but when I was a kid, I always wanted to belong to, um, you know, always wanted to belong to some kind of club or whatever. You know, I saw so many people, go off to school and become, Kappas and Omegas and all that stuff. So, Miss Hill said, "Good night. I enjoyed the show. Have to get some rest for work tomorrow." Okay, that's cool. Troy said, "I'm not one of the fortunate 65 people who've seen Purple Rain, a movie that won an Oscar for its soundtrack." I understand. You and Casper should get together. Have the I Hate Al Club. But what was Purple Rain the sequel to Color Purple? Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah. You and Troy Casper should, y'all should get together, boy. Just have some Hate Owl T-shirts. You know, we love Keith Sweat. He's the man. He invented Quiet Storm. Mr. Quiet Storm. Good night, Sheila Forrest. Thank you for being a part of my show. I really appreciate it. Because you could have been anywhere else. You could have been listening to Keith Sweat along with Brother Casper. Keep on looking. Her kiss was Jim Perspiration. Yeah. No, Troy was one of my students at Kennedy King. Yeah. He said, I heard Keith Sweat's real name is Jim Perspiration. Actually, it's Keith Cryer. It should have been Weiner. Sheila said, I enjoyed myself with the original Whispers in the Dark Pioneer. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep, I appreciate you guys. Is today Wednesday? Oh, that's the end of the week for me. You'll probably hear a rerun of my show tomorrow. That is, of course, if you listen to my reruns. But thank you guys. Sheila. Eva. Man, time flies when you're having fun. Thank you so much. Sheila Forrest. Also to Ronnie, thank you so much. John Caldwell, Greg Moore, Greg Beasley, just everybody. Preston Shanks, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. And, my ailments. You're like, man, you look really bad. Who was that? Somebody said they're doing Hitch 2. That could be Will Smith's stunt double. Yeah, very funny. They call me Uncle Hitch at work now. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you guys. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Good night, Satin Down. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Once again, I appreciate you all for listening. You could have been anywhere else, listening to Keith Sweat or Howard McGee or somebody. But I appreciate you all. And thank you. And I love you guys. Thank you for the support. When I have my my eye closed and everything. For those of you who didn't know that I was, in the hospital, I appreciate you praying for me and everything. That meant a lot to me. And, I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. All right. Good night, everybody. And all you Keith Sweat fans out there, keep sweating. Good night.